The big mistake everybody made during COVID was instead of listening to independent researchers and doctors, we listened to mainstream media doctors and pundits who were brought to you by Pfizer. That was the big mistake. And people tell me people literally say, why don't you bring more mainstream doctors on your show? People think that's smart to say that. I'm not kidding. Hey, why don't you bring out some people from Raytheon and tell you what's happening in Ukraine?
What kind of great insurance you have? You see a mainstream doctor?
I would, but I don't have insurance.
I have to go to an indie doctor.
Yeah, I can't get him.
I call into Therapy Gecko on you ever see that?
This is from Elon Musk. He came out, big deal. Now, what happens when Pfizer pulls their advertising from Twitter? Well, the billionaire who owns Twitter is going to start telling the truth about stuff. And so he said this: I had major side effects from my second booster shot. Felt like I was dying for several days. Hopefully no permanent damage, but I don't know.
When was his booster?
I don't know.
If it was before or after Pfizer took their
money out?
Yeah, because, okay, did this happen to him a while back? And he was like, well, now that you took your money out, I'm going to talk about what happened to me. Or did he recently get a booster and this happened to him after they took their money out? Because if this happened before they took their money out, and he's just, fuck you, dude.
Yeah. Well, here he says, and my cousin, who was young and in peak health, had a serious case of myocarditis, had to go to the hospital.
Not no more, he ain't.
So it's probably benign.
Look, Scott Adams said he was wrong. What else do you want? Your cousin won, and Scott Adams lost.
So this is a big deal, right? So anyway, the COVID tide has turned, especially on Twitter, and Twitter is where all the news journalists go, or the people who do news in America. So there he is again. And my cousins, this guy said, I got the J&J and thankfully nothing after that. He says, I had OG's COVID-19. What is that? What's OG?
The original strain.
Oh, is that what he had? Oh, he had the original strain.
Not Delta, the original one.
Oh, no kidding. Before vaccines came out, and it was basically a mild cold.
Oh my God, Elon.
Jesus
Jesus Christ.
It's going to make people not afraid of it enough. Elon.
Well, it sounds like he got suckered in his mind. Obviously, he didn't, because it was incredibly effective. And
then he had the J&J vaccine with no. If you already had it, why would you?
Because they told all the people that are part of society.
Yeah.
They told them to get it, and they all got it like it was their duty. Remember Bill Maher?
Yes, he said, I took one for the team.
Yeah, they all would take one for the team.
You're going to take an experimental medical treatment for someone else?
We're all doing this. You can't even get on a lot in Hollywood without doing this.
That is true. Then he had the J&J vaccine. No bad side effects except his arm hurt badly. First mRNA booster was okay, but the second one crushed me. So this is news. This is big news. I'm just reporting this as news. Of course, you know, as we tell you here, I don't know what he's talking about, because the vaccine is safe and effective, Kurt. You know that. It's going to keep it's going to keep you
even
from
the J&J one that got recalled.
That's right. It's fantastic.
Also safe and effective.
Safe and effective. I don't know why they recalled it. What?
Because you're panic.
That was my favorite one. I like that it was J&J.
Yeah.
But it'll keep you from, if you get that vaccine, it'll keep you from going in the hospital, getting sick or dying, and it slows the spread and contraction. My heart swells with pride over the vaccines. I get short of breath from the excitement of the new booster.
Yeah. Well, I hope Elon's heart isn't 2 sizes too small, as they say in Whoville.
So here's another one. This guy said, that's actually crazy. What's sad is that you'd be deplatformed or fact-checked on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube for sharing that because it's not in line with the WHO or independent fact-checkers. And then Scott Adams, our favorite guy, he comes back in and says, no one gets deplatformed for saying something happened to their cousin. Boy, Scott, what do you... People get deplatformed for saying the truth about question. COVID. Of course they would get deplatformed,
Scott,
for that.
For a guy that's on Twitter this much, how did you not encounter the Twitter files?
How did you not encounter that?
It was all Twitter. I didn't really look into them that hard.
Me neither.
Because I don't give a shit about Twitter. And you're not aware that in fact, you could have a 24 like thing and there's direct requests from several branches of government.
And political parties.
Does everything have to be drawn on a chart behind Scott Adams' pointy head?
There was the guy, yeah.
Look at his stupid brain. Like, I've never seen a guy have all the accoutrements of being smart.
He is. He has a brain. It's a brain.
Yeah. You didn't notice that? I'm like, wow. Who is that even with that giant brain? Oh my God. You see, Scott, the IQ is the brain's penis size. And
here's my favorite. So this guy tweets out the Rasmussen reports. They reported that 68% of 260 million adults, or 177 million adults, indicate they received a COVID-19 vax, and 7% of those reported major side effects. That translates to 177 or 0.07 in approximately 12 million people. I don't know what that is. The CDC says major side effects are rare. How many people did the CDC estimate had major side effects? How are the words rare and common defined for side effects?
That's a good question.
So he retweets it and said, how do we interpret this? I'm going to interpret it as not good.
Scott, well, you have a brain in your profile.
Put it in your brain and interpret it. What are you doing?
What is this wrinkly thing in the picture on my profile? Anyone?
A brain.
Wow.
Hey, we're doing live stand-up comedy in Los Angeles, Tempe, Arizona, Palm Springs, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Nashville, Northampton, Massachusetts, and a lot more places. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets and become a premium member while you're there. You get access to all of our stuff. See you then.